97% of people have no idea that cats and dogs have distinct brain differences. These differences affect their behavior and how they interact with their environment. Research by the University of Veterinary Medicine in Vienna, Austria, has shed light on this topic. For instance, cats have a larger olfactory bulb, which enhances their sense of smell. But it's not that simple. The brain structure of cats and dogs has evolved over time to adapt to their respective environments. Dogs, for example, have a more developed caudate nucleus, which is associated with social behavior. This is likely due to their history of domestication and pack dynamics. In contrast, cats are generally more solitary animals. What changes everything is this: the way cats and dogs process information is also unique. Cats have a more flexible brain, which allows them to adapt quickly to new situations. A study published in the journal Animal Cognition found that cats can learn and remember complex tasks. Dogs, on the other hand, rely more on instinct and conditioning. According to Dr. Sophia Ehn, a renowned animal behaviorist, the brain chemistry of cats and dogs also plays a significant role in their behavior. Cats have higher levels of serotonin, which can affect their mood and aggression levels. Dogs, by contrast, have higher levels of dopamine, which is associated with reward and pleasure. Here's the catch: while cats and dogs have distinct brain differences, they also share some similarities. Both species have a similar brain-to-body mass ratio, which suggests a level of cognitive complexity. A study by the University of Edinburgh found that both cats and dogs are capable of complex problem-solving. But what about their sense of hearing? Cats have a more sensitive range of hearing, which allows them to detect even the faintest sounds. Research by the University of Illinois has shown that cats can hear sounds as high as 64 kHz. Dogs, on the other hand, have a more limited range of hearing. In my own kitchen, I've observed that cats are highly attuned to their surroundings. They can detect even the slightest changes in their environment, from a new smell to a shifted object. This is likely due to their highly developed sense of spatial awareness. Dogs, by contrast, are more focused on their social interactions. A study by the University of Bristol found that cats are capable of recognizing themselves in mirrors. This level of self-awareness is rare in the animal kingdom. Dogs, on the other hand, do not demonstrate the same level of self-awareness. This has significant implications for our understanding of animal cognition. What's interesting is that cats and dogs have different learning styles. Cats are more independent and prefer to learn through trial and error. Dogs, on the other hand, are highly social and thrive on positive reinforcement. This is reflected in their brain structure, with dogs having a more developed hippocampus. But it's not just about learning styles. The emotional lives of cats and dogs are also distinct. Cats are highly sensitive to stress and can become easily overwhelmed. Dogs, on the other hand, are more resilient and can adapt to a wide range of situations. This is reflected in their brain chemistry, with dogs having higher levels of oxytocin. Here's what we know: the brain differences between cats and dogs are not just limited to their behavior. They also have significant implications for their health and well-being. For example, cats are more prone to anxiety disorders, while dogs are more susceptible to obesity. Understanding these differences can help us better care for our pets. A study by the University of Glasgow found that cats and dogs have different gut microbiomes. This can affect their digestive health and overall well-being. Cats have a more diverse range of gut bacteria, which allows them to digest a wider range of foods. Dogs, on the other hand, have a more limited range of gut bacteria. But what about their cognitive abilities? Cats and dogs have different problem-solving strategies. Cats are more likely to use trial and error, while dogs are more likely to use instinct and conditioning. This is reflected in their brain structure, with cats having a more developed cerebral cortex. According to a study by the University of Cambridge, cats and dogs have different social structures. Cats are highly solitary and have a more flexible social hierarchy. Dogs, on the other hand, are highly social and have a more rigid social hierarchy. What changes everything is this: the way we care for our pets can have a significant impact on their brain development. For example, providing a stimulating environment can help promote cognitive development in cats and dogs. A study by the University of Michigan found that cats and dogs that receive regular exercise and mental stimulation have improved cognitive function. But here's the catch: while cats and dogs have distinct brain differences, they also share some commonalities. Both species are capable of forming strong bonds with their human caregivers. Research by the University of California, Los Angeles, has shown that cats and dogs can recognize and respond to human emotions. A study by the University of Oxford found that cats and dogs have different sleep patterns. Cats are more likely to sleep for shorter periods and are more alert during the day. Dogs, on the other hand, are more likely to sleep for longer periods and are more active at night. This is reflected in their brain chemistry, with cats having higher levels of melatonin. What's interesting is that cats and dogs have different nutritional needs. Cats are obligate carnivores and require a diet high in protein and fat. Dogs, on the other hand, are omnivores and can thrive on a more varied diet. This is reflected in their brain structure, with cats having a more developed liver. But it's not just about nutrition. The way we interact with our pets can also have a significant impact on their brain development. For example, providing positive reinforcement can help promote cognitive development in cats and dogs. A study by the University of Illinois found that cats and dogs that receive positive reinforcement have improved cognitive function. Here's what we know: the brain differences between cats and dogs are complex and multifaceted. They are influenced by a range of factors, including genetics, environment, and nutrition. By understanding these differences, we can better care for our pets and promote their overall health and well-being. But here's what nobody talks about: the impact of domestication on the brain development of cats and dogs. Domestication has had a profound impact on the evolution of these species and has resulted in significant changes to their brain structure and function. Join us next time on the Cat Brothers channel as we explore the impact of domestication on the brain development of cats and dogs. Subscribe now and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on our latest videos. In our next video, we'll be discussing the latest research on the domestication of cats and dogs and what it means for our understanding of these species.